Can you really reverse type 2 diabetes, cure it even with just changes in your diet? This is a very important question, especially if you suffer from prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. You may have seen some news articles lately about people who claim to have done this. The answer is yes. Yes, you can. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician, and I've been helping patients with type 2 diabetes for over 20 years. But only in the last few years have I been able to help people actually reverse, cure, get rid of their type 2 diabetes permanently. And I want to share with you in this short video exactly how it's done. That's 100 total grams of carbs a day. Do that 2 or 3 times each day. Do that for 90 days and then go back to your doctor and say, hey, doctor, I need you to recheck my labs. I have changed my diet. I want you to check an A1C and a fasting insulin. You'll want both of those numbers. And if your doctor doesn't understand why you need the fasting insulin, I have a book that I linked down in the show notes called Common Sense Labs that will explain it to you, and then you can explain it to your doctor. Then your doctor will order the damn test. Okay? So if that 100 total grams of carbs a day, if it got your A1C and your fasting insulin down to normal levels, congratulations, you have cured your type 2 diabetes. And as long as you keep your diet on the proper human diet spectrum of less than 100 total grams of carbs a day, you'll never develop type 2 diabetes again. Now, some people have to go down to 50 total grams of carbohydrates a day. And so if after 90 days of the 100 total grams, you still have an elevated A1C and still have an elevated fasting insulin, then that's not low carb enough for you. So you're going to go down to 50 total grams of carbs a day. Now let's take a minute and talk about the A1C test. So the A1C test, it checks a 3-month average roughly of what your blood sugar has been running 24 hours a day for those 3 months. And so if your A1C is 6.5 or higher, that's the definition of type 2 diabetes. You have type 2 diabetes. Now, in UK units, that's 48. So if it's 48 or above, you have type 2 diabetes. If your A1C is above 5.6, so if it's 5.7 up to 6.4, that's pre-diabetes. So many of you guys, after eating 90 days of less than 100 total grams, you won't have type 2 anymore because it'll be less than 6.5. So the 5.7 translates into a 39 in the UK units of measurement. So after 90 days of the 50 total grams, go back and get an A1C and a fasting insulin. If they're both normal, hot damn, you fixed it. You cured your type 2 diabetes. And as long as you eat 50 or less total grams of carbs for the rest of your life, it'll never come back. If, however, that improved your A1C, which it most certainly will, but it didn't fix it completely, then you may need to turn it down to 20 total grams of carbs a day. Many people have to do this in order to cure their type 2 diabetes. And so you're going to just decrease the carbohydrate containing veg and fruits and berries and nuts, and you're going to increase the fatty red meat, the seafood, and the eggs with yolk to make them a higher percentage of your diet. And so you're going to eat 20 total grams or less of carbohydrate a day, and you're going to do that for 90 days. Then you're going to go back to your sweet doctor and say, hey, check an A1C and a fasting insulin. Let's see where we are. And for the vast majority of people, this is going to be the 90 days where you wind up with a normal A1C and a normal fasting insulin. There are, however, a few people like me who any amount of carbohydrate is too much carbohydrate for mine and perhaps your personal physiology. And I have to eat as close to 0 grams of total carbs a day as possible in order to keep my belly where I want it to be, which is not done lapping over my belt, in order to keep my A1C where I want it to be, in order to keep my fasting insulin where it needs to be for me to live a long, healthy life. And so for those of you like me, then you're going to eat a carnivore diet. That's what that's going to wind up being. It's going to be fatty meat. It's going to be seafood. It's going to be eggs with the yolk. And that'll make up 100% of your diet.